Armitage Dual Matrix is a continuation from Armitage 3 Polymatrix that was made in 2002 that is directed by Katsuhito Akiyama. Naomi Armitage and Ross Syllabus, now living under assumed identities, are now living in St. Louis on Mars along with their daughter Yoko. Ross now works for a company seeking to restore oceans to Mars by using ice asteroids. However, a new effort to restore the third project prompts Naomi to travel to Earth to figure out what is happening. Meanwhile, while Ross is trying to save the facility from a group of terrorists, they both soon realize that the problems has only begun. Honestly, this anime has surprised me. This anime has really surprised me deeply. Because by me watching this, the prequel Armitage 3 Polymatrix, I was overblown by the anime. It was the first time that I've ever watched it. It has brought me back to the 1990 genre when I was a child, and I was blown away in all aspects. And I have given it a legendary rating. And by me, that has been doing reviews for a while, or just by looking at other materials that they have made a sequel to, I've noticed that they have literally done a 180 and just have not decided to push out the material or decide to put the effort of what they have done in the original. I'm saying that because Appleseed was guilty at this. The original Appleseed in 1988 was great, but then as they was making more and more Appleseeds, some of them was great, some of them was pretty good, but they just did not hold up the torch of being better than the original, or just being as good as the original. It's a non-comparison, but I expect you to bring your A game once you decide to make a sequel or a prequel to explain what happened to what made us like it in the first place. I'm saying that to say this. Armitage Dual Matrix has not done that. Armitage Dual Matrix has brung their A game. In fact, in my opinion, I think this is actually better than the prequel. In all aspects, they have improved everything that the original had and made it even more better. Now, when I say they improved everything, they have improved everything, including the art style. The animation of the original version was pretty good, but I noticed by this being made in 2002, they have updated a lot of quality to this anime when it comes to the cybernetic art style and just the 3D aspects to it, which was perfect. I felt like if this is going to be a cyberpunk style anime, why not 3D aspects to it? And they have done this well, especially with the action. I've noticed that the action is a little bit more intense, a little bit more engaging, and at the same time a little bit more thrilling, even though they've added some elements to it as well. And I've noticed that they have added some chase scenes of the anime too, which I thought was pretty good. Some scenes when it comes to mechanics fighting each other, and scenes when it comes to machines blowing up in front of your face. They have not added that in the original, so I kind of felt like they have done justice on this one. This anime did not shit on the original at all, especially when it comes to the pacing. Speaking of pacing, the anime picks up pretty quickly. Now, the anime has taken place after some time from the original, because Ross and Naomi Armitage, they're both living under identities, and they actually have a child now, Yoko. And this is when I was getting a little bit more nervous, because I felt like by kids being into like shows like this or in movies, you know that kids are going to drive plot. They're going to deliberately fuck things up just so, even though the parents are trying to be careful because they know they're in danger, kids might try to go over that line just so things can be more chilling. But no, Yoko was a mature child. I liked the Yoko a lot, and she has not done anything to make me hate her character. As for Naomi and Ross, their bond is still there. Their bond has even grown a lot lately due to what we have been through in the anime. But their characteristics with Ross, his characteristics is still the same. He's still professional. He's still by the book. But at the same time, he's still a little bit of a flirtatious guy when it comes to him having his way with Naomi. Now, Naomi, she has changed a lot. Naomi, she's not the hornball as you saw on the anime. She is actually more mature. She is actually a female Ross, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to how she is in battle and how she does with things when it comes to her being under pressure, she is a lot better. She's a lot more serious. She's a lot more vicious, a lot more imposing. Picture her as Batman in a way. And the reason why I say this is because by them both living under like hidden identities, she kind of wants to try to figure things out by not being Naomi Armitage. She wants to do things under the identity and under, I don't want to say a cape, but just by her doing things under the slide. And I like the fact that they show more mechanical things with Naomi's body as well. I did not know that she can do as much as they did not anticipate in the original, which they are kind of guilty for. She can mimic voices. She can hack a lot more things. She can save memory files into her body. And a lot more has been changed into her body. Now, it can be debatable. People can say that they have probably enhanced her body from the previous one to this one, which I can agree, but we won't know that until it's been proven. So by me watching both of them, I would like to say that they have improved that by not doing that and just adding it into this one. Now the action, like I mentioned, is very good. It's intense and it pulls you in. So by the action being intense, how about the violence? Well, the violence is still there. The violence is still glorified. It's still in your face. Now, unlike the original, they don't really show a lot of innocence and a lot of other like bystanders getting killed. But the gore and the violence is all on Armitage. Like the enemies is actually more brutal than the prequel version. Because even though Armitage has matured and gotten more stronger, so did the enemies and so did the mini bosses. Like, Armitage really gets fucked up on this anime. Like, she really gets pummeled. She gets torn apart. She gets teared limb by limb. Like, you name it, she has been through it. And it basically shows you how much she can endure and how much she can come back from it. But at the same time, I really thought she could get killed off on this anime. Her and Ross. Ross has been through some shit on this anime as well. It's not just her. She does fight, but at the same time, they want to show you Ross's side of how he can do things in battle as well. And he got fucked up too. But at the same time, it shows you that these people is not invincible. If they're outnumbered or if they get caught off guard, they can get caught up pretty quickly. And they actually added some little horror elements to this anime as well, because by them having a kid, the kid does get in danger. So at that aspect, I guess they want to have more fun with it by showing what a family can do when their infant child is in peril. So they have clearly pulled that string a lot, and I like that with this anime, because there were times, man, where I thought Yoko could get killed off. I thought that all of them could get killed off, especially when they had Yoko in the freezer. The enemies are brutal, but so is the bad guy itself, the main enemy, and his name is Demetrio. Now, Demetrio's reason of what he wants to do is I actually bought into it. And he's a scientist, he's a creator of cyborgs. So what he wants to do is he wants to add more featurettes to cyborgs as well. So when he found out that Naomi Armitage is a cyborg, and not only that, but she is combat enhanced and she's a natural born killing machine, that didn't stop him from looking the other way. What made him attached to her was the fact that she can actually give birth to children. She can actually reproduce. So when he was like, wait a minute, she's a cyborg that can reproduce, I gotta look into this. So when he tried to confront Armitage and saying look, I need some of your DNA, I need some of your tissue, can I please have it so I can make more cyborgs like you that can really breed children? And I kind of believed his character, because there's actually a lot of cyborgs that envy that wish they can feel love, that they can feel that type of emotion, and they can actually breed. But Armitage was like, no, I do not want you to play God while we all play the pawns. So I saw Armitage vision. I saw why she didn't want to do it. And at first I was like, wait a minute, why you don't want to help this guy out? Because Demetrius actually seemed like a pretty reasonable character, but he was just as vicious. When he didn't have his way, all hell broke loose. he already had like a couple of little toys in the back in his closet just in case if Armitage said no, but those was basically his test subjects just so he can add to more further data just so they can be fully upgraded to be just like Armitage, both breeding killing machine monsters. Only difference is when you have sex with them, they can't have kids, and you want them to be just like her. But what I liked about them was, and this was, I can say a flaw, but I can't say a flaw. The reason why I can say a flaw is because by Demetrio making a replica of themselves, I think that's a cheap knockoff for a main enemy instead of you being creative. But what I liked about these two was the fact that they have literally showed you what Armitage can really do if she is really pissed off, if she just really don't care about life, and if she just was just a running killing machine. I love these two because by them not having no morality of just caring about human life, they was vicious. They was literally killing machines. Whenever I saw them, it made me fear whatever was in their way. So they did very good with them, with them both. However, I think that with Armitage character, even though it was debatable of saying that she really didn't pull that much on the anime as she did on the original version, that's because she has kids, and she has a child, and only time that she really pulls her weight is when her kid was in danger. So she wanted to settle down, same thing with Ross's character. But then when those two bitches showed up, then that's when all hell broke loose, and I believed every single one of it. It did the exact same thing as the original did. They wanted you to feel the intensity of you being pulled in with the action and with the dramatic aspects of the character's emotions and their expressions of when things end up happening. But the difference is, it's not just Armitage and Ross, it's Armitage, Ross, and the child Yoko itself. It wanted you to show you not just what happens when it comes to their family being in danger, but it shows you also of just how cyborgs can feel and how they can be engaged with love as well when their children is in danger. They have done well with this anime when it comes to the pace. Now let's talk about the music. The music, it's good. It's not as engaging as the original, which they can be guilty for, but not enough for me to narrow it down. It didn't stand off. I was still pulled in and I was still engaged. Especially the theme song. They actually added a theme song to Armitage's character on this anime that they did not do to the original, and I liked it. It's pretty catchy. It is just a girl humming, to the slow Matrix sound to it to get you pulled into her character. At the end of the day, the anime is great. The anime surprised me in the aspect of it. I thought this anime was going to be lacking some material due to the fact that the original version was very, 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 very satisfying. But no, this anime has learned from this from the previous one, and they've done better. And I am very applied by that because, like I said, a lot of animes, a lot of games, a lot of movies, when they have sequels, it don't be better than the original. But with Armitage Dual Matrix, it just said, you know what, we're going to do better. We are going to improve because the original Armitage 3 Poly Matrix was very good. It kind of makes me feel disappointed that people don't talk about it that much, but that's what you got me here for. I like to bring animes from the grave and show you how much they was before they end up passing away from people's visions of being brainwashed of animes that we've seen today, so people can just talk about it, but leave the other animes alone. I'm gonna have to give Armitage Dual Matrix an A+. You guys seen that coming. You guys seen that coming. Even though I'm picky with my high scores, I'm very picky with my scores like that, and I should be because I like to look at every nook and cranny of certain things that I look at. But there's some things I do miss. I am a human being, but the things that I miss out, I feel like it's necessary because I want to pick things out, but I don't want to nitpick it. That's where the hard criticism comes in, where when people look at something that's very too overhyped and you want to attack it just to see if there's any small thing that's wrong with it. I'm not like that at all. If I watch something and if it catches my eye, then I will bring it up, but only if I catch it by having an open mind, not because somebody has said it's so great, it's so good, check it out, and I'm coming in with negative intention. Well, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more upcoming reviews and anime videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and you guys have a good day.